Hey
Hey
guys.
guys, this is Cocktails with Curt.
Oh, really? Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Hey guys, this is Curt with the GreatHomesATL team.
He's a star all of a sudden, right? Everybody wants to address Curt all of a sudden. But I'm the one that did all this work at the beginning to launch us.
Oh really?
Yes.
Anyway, this is not for them. This is whatever.
So what are you talking about today, Curt? Since it's your show.
Glad you know it. So anyway, thank you so much for all the engagement, guys. We do tell you to send us your questions. You can DM us, put them in the comments, and we've gotten a lot of questions.
We did. We did. One of the ones that came up this week that we're going to talk about is priorities for location. So I think we're going to break that down into 4 categories because we get this all the time. People calling up, right, saying, I want this many bedrooms, this many baths, I've been pre-approved for a certain amount. Where should I live?
Or not even where should I live. Let me play that differently, at least how I've gotten it. So someone calls, they know exactly what they want in terms of the specs of a house, how many beds, how many baths, all those details they're very clear about. And we can find you any house, trust me, that's what we're good at, right? But when we ask, okay, what's your desired area? You would be surprised at how many people have no idea where they want to live. They just know the house that they want.
And these are people sometimes that have lived in Atlanta.
which is odd. And, I guess for us as agents, I look at it like we're here to help you, but we also rely on you helping us help you.
So let's put a priority list together to help people out there to kind of narrow it down. Because we're talking, okay, you start with a county, then you start with a city, then you limit, maybe the zip code, if you can get that granular, but at least the city. Right?
At least the city, but I guess we have to play devil's advocate, right? Because we do have a lot of relocation
buyers
who aren't familiar with the Atlanta metro area, and they might be moving here for a job transfer, so they don't always have the luxury of knowing what the specific areas are. But having said that, there still should be a list of priorities.
You should still have some. If you're moving to Atlanta, you should have some idea.
Here's what I was
not necessarily like exactly where you want to live, but let's just go down some lists of the priorities. We narrowed it down to 4 areas, and then we're gonna go into it.
Well, in terms of the priorities you're talking about,
the 4 that we've listed.
All right, so what at least I put these down on my list, and you tell me if they sync up with yours. So my list of priorities, if I were looking to relocate or buy a home, my daily commute. If I'm gonna have to go to work,
another way to say job, where your job is.
Or daily commute. Maybe you don't know what I do on a daily basis. Actually, let me not give myself
your commute to the gym, maybe, I guess.
Whatever.
That's important though.
But that is important, right? If you're gonna spend Monday through Friday going back and forth somewhere, wouldn't it be important that your home is in a close proximity or reasonable proximity as best, as circumstances
so commute,
job. Commute. If you have kids, school should be important.
That's a huge one, right? So just we'll get into a little bit more into each one of these, but so we talked about commute, schools. What else? We got 2 more.
I do. I don't know how many you have. I don't see anything on your notepad.
I got my list.
I would say if you don't drive, and public transportation is a necessity.
It's a good one.
Atlanta does not have a very robust public transportation system, right? So if you don't live on the MARTA line,
and your job and your whole life is around the MARTA line, is probably
that's probably a top priority for where you should be living for certain people.
If you don't have a car.
What do you have on your list since you came so prepared?
Well, I thought lifestyle, maybe recreation. Like when I talk about that, I'm talking about.
Clarify.
Are you a nightlife person? Are you a person that likes to do something on the Chattahoochee River, kayaking? Are you like a recreational riding bikes type of person? That's important to certain demographics. I'm just saying.
Anyway, I don't even know where to go with that.
So let's go back to the first one. It's the job and the commute. So let's say somebody's relocating, or even here in Atlanta, and their job is at the airport, right? Wouldn't you say and they said to us, I would like to be within, 40 minutes of that area. That's going to help us
narrow down to some areas.
You're not looking at like Alpharetta. You're not looking at North Fulton. Right. You're not looking at Cherokee
But there's
County.
still a lot that's close to the airport.
And within 40, 45 minutes.
Right.
That's
so
what
it's
they say.
still...
So that's just an example.
That's a starting point.
Right.
That
the
gives you a
job,
starting point.
commute, 45 minutes. Okay, we're narrowing it down a little bit more. I've got kids, schools. So for me, what I do is I send people to a site called schooldigger.com, and I've talked about it before.
It's actually on our website.
Yeah, it's a link on our website. When you look all about Atlanta, it's about schools. And that's just going to tell a little bit of the story. It's just rankings. We always tell people, you know, if a school's a 5 or 6, that doesn't mean they're horrible. It means you just have to do a little bit more research.
And it also depends on
the class. Yeah.
It depends on the parent's preference. It depends on, sometimes people will move into an area, but then they'll send the kids to private school.
Right.
So you can move into an area that doesn't have the most desirable schools or, you know, a rating
you get a lot more for your money.
Where you might get a lot more for your money, and you already know your kid's going to get bused to school anyway. So maybe that is less of a priority.
Right. But if you're not in that position, then, you know, being in a school district, you know, you might have to say, hey, I got to get into a condo or townhouse to be like, let's just throw out like a Morningside district, as opposed to like way out there in the suburbs or in a bad area. We talked a little bit about public transportation, right? So we know MARTA, we know there's now Uber and Lyft, but who the hell wants to spend money every day, right, on Uber and Lyft? So you have to take that into consideration. And I remember one of the things when you first moved down here, right? That was shocking.
I used to walk because coming...
I remember that time.
So when I moved here from New York, like if anybody, I know we have plenty of viewers from New York, but you just walk. You either walk or you take the train, but Atlanta doesn't really offer, as I said in the beginning, a robust video. So like I would walk to like where we live to like cafes to bookstores.
It was like 10th Street, I remember, and then he was like,
but I would get stuck because
I'm walking to Piedmont Park, but we weren't on the 10th Street side, like we were like in West Midtown, and he's like, I don't need you to pick me up after,
because I would walk and not realize like how far it was, because again I have a New York mentality at that point, so I'm walking, and I realized I just walked 2 miles, and I don't feel like
walking back.
I don't feel like walking 2 miles back, drenched in sweat. So yeah, knowing
that into consideration,
knowing where you know how your lifestyle is situated, that will also be a priority. Don't make the mistakes I made in the beginning.
Absolutely, that was
you might not have a mark to come.
I would say overall, if you can come to Atlanta or buy a car once you close on the house, because you don't want to, you know, mess up your credit and all that, but you'll definitely most likely need a car in Atlanta if you can afford it. And then finally, lifestyle and recreation. Just talk a little bit about that, like when it comes to nightlife and your quality of life and fits your personality.
You know, again, I think that we're here to help you, but we don't know. We're meeting you for the first time, so you're putting a lot of, without sharing, you know. If you don't know which area you want to live in or what your lifestyle is suited for,
what's your personality like?
You're putting a lot of sort of blind faith or trust in us.
Right.
And almost like through osmosis, we would have to try to figure out.
We're good, but we're not mind readers.
We're not mind readers. I mean, we can find you the house, but you have to help us learn more about what suits you. Do you like to go out at night? Do you like to stay in? Do you like action around you? Or do you prefer the suburbs? I mean, there's so many things that go into finding you the perfect fit.
Having those conversations. I mean, I've met people before, and they're just in the conversation. So what do you like to do? And they'll be like, you know, what I really love is like taking jogs at night. So you could kind of narrow it.
Jogs, right?
Yeah, jogs, running, walking my dogs. But so what they're trying to say is, I want like a trail system. Yeah. I want to be able to maybe do the track at the local high school. Well, if you're like 20 minutes away from that doesn't, you know, that doesn't fit your lifestyle. So it's just narrowing it down. So just to recap this, because we're running out of time, schools, look at that site, schooldigger.com. But more importantly, when you come to town, have meetings with the principal, getting to know the staff, where your job is, where your commute is, how you're getting to and from work, very important. Public transportation, MARTA, it's smarter for some people, but not everybody. And then lifestyle and recreation. So use those as a guiding
biggest
tool.
one, and budget.
Right.
Everything revolves around the budget.
But we're going to try to get you as close to that as possible. So, all right, guys, we're off to the next video. Thanks again. Cocktails with Curt.
Cheers.
Talk to you guys soon.